In this No Man's Sky video, I'm going to show you how to get really rich using a gold mine. In fact, I've got 2 planets you can visit. You'll also need a lot of storage in your exosuit, freighter and ship. So all you have to do is come here, collect all the gold, sell it. I've set it up so you can collect daily if you wish, but I'll also show you how to create a simple gold mine, like the one you can see right now, meaning that you can increase your daily yield, and if other people do it as well, we'll have a location with lots of gold bases and lots of units. So let's collect all the gold from this location. As you can see, it refreshes in less than 24 hours. And when we collected the last one from this location, we'll move on to the other base. And collect all the gold from here as well. And as you can see here, I've maxed out my exosuit, so I'm going to have to put it in my starship as well. And this is all the gold I got from the 2 locations. So let's head to a space station. Different space stations will have a slightly different rates, so it might be worth visiting quite a few to find the one that will give you the best return. When you get to the space station, don't sell it at the galactic terminal. Wait for a merchant to fly in and sell it to them. And the reason you need to do that is because it won't crash the local economy. If you sell it at the galactic terminal, it will. And by doing this, I made 174.6 million. And if you choose to build a base here, you'll get more. But before we move on to base building, this is the location. And of course, it's in Euclid. Okay, it's time to build a gold mine. You need to find a location, obviously that has some gold nearby, an electromagnetic power location. On a side note, I'm going to keep any glitching to a minimum so you can reproduce it. The only wire glitch that I'll use will be the one that's simplest to do, but you will be able to follow the basic principles and create one without glitches. When it comes to finding the gold spot, find the place where you get the maximum yield like I'm doing now. When you found that spot, make that the centre of your base. Because I'm on a ridge, I'm going to raise my base up a little bit. Then I'm going to snap a floor panel, then snap 3 large triangles as so. I can remove those walls from underneath, select a small wall and work my way up. You want to go fairly high, then attach a small floor panel, making sure it's on the same side as the large floor panel. Then when you're high enough, add another couple of small walls and another small floor panel. And then you can snap some small triangles. Clear away some of the scaffolding and snap in some more triangles. Now you want to put some small floor panels on 3 sides. Then for the one below, you want to offset it like so. Clear more of the scaffolding. Then place a large triangle against that floor panel, which will offset the triangle. When you've worked round to this position, you can remove that floor panel now, and then snap in the last few large triangles. I'm going to place some large floor panels as so, just so I get a sense of the edge of the build. And then I'm going to focus on getting power to my base. To bring power to your base, for every 100 U, put down a little tower like I'm doing now. You don't have to, but I like hiding my wiring, but it also allows you to push the base limit if you need to. But if you reach the base limit, it has to be every 50 U. I'm at the electromagnetic power hotspot. Let's place another marker, dig another hole, put down a save point, and swap out the marker for some small walls, and raise it up quite high I think. Select a small floor panel, turn snap off, flip through the different rotations till you get the right one, and then rotate the floor panel like I'm doing now. Free place it, then get rid of the short walls. Then select a light floor panel and rotate it until the little flashy light bit is at the bottom. Then place a couple of more light floor panels atop of it. Let's select electromagnetic generator. When you've selected item, go into the wire menu. Then you move the cursor to the electrical pickup point on the floor panels and simply hit wire and place at the same time. Now this wire glitch is extremely simple to do. The hardest thing is waiting for the thing to spawn properly before moving on to the next one. It really isn't any different to a button combo that you'd get in a fighting game. If you get it slightly wrong, a wire will attach instead of the item. If that happens, just reselect the item, go back into the wire menu and start again. But that usually only happens if you've glitched one item and it hasn't fully spawned in yet before moving on to the next. So simply take your time by selecting an item, going into the wire menu, then hitting wire and place at the same time. And if you haven't noticed yet, the button combinations are in the bottom left as we speak. You probably also notice as I'm wiring it up that I've spread them out. That's because if you put too many items in one location, it can crash the game. But let's pull the wire down to the bottom and add a battery so we can see how much power we're getting. I'm getting 1480 at the moment. I'll need more. Before that, I want to take this power back to my base. And as I like to hide my wires, I'm going to put them in the hole. I know you can use the wire hider, but I'm old school. Okay, I've got the wire back at my base and I've placed it at the centre of it. I'll put a battery at this end as well so I can monitor the usage. Head back to my hotspot while filling up the holes and removing the markers. Then wire glitch a lot more electromagnetic generators. While I was doing that, I was checking how much power I was producing. When I got over 20,000 kp, that was enough. And that was the power side of the build finished. Let's move on to the mining side. I've selected the light floor panel. I'm attaching it to the small floor panels that we did earlier, making sure the flashy light bit is facing inwards. You can also use the pattern at the top as a guide as well. Now I'm going to attach 5 light floor panels to each of the spokes. Then I'm going to pull the wire to the centre of each of these spokes. When that's all done, make a save. Attach floor panels like I'm doing right now to the floor. Then select a supply depot, rotate it and make sure it lines up with each of the spokes. And then when they're lined up with the spokes above, select a floor panel, snap it on the outside, then snap a small wall on the outside of that. Once the small wall's in place, you can get rid of the floor panels. Now it's time to select a mineral extractor, then wire glitch it like we did earlier with electromagnetic generators. At this point, it's good time to do the piping. And of course the electrical wiring, but don't connect it to the main power just yet, as that will activate the mineral extractors and it can be a bit annoying. But you do want to pull down a supply pipe from the end down to the supply depot, using the short wall as an anchor point. And the reason it's all spread out like this is because they changed things quite some time ago that means you have to spread things out or it will slow down the whole process. Okay, now's a good time to power it up. And check what the yield is from one spar. And check how much power has been drawn from that one spar. I'm going to wire glitch a lot more mineral extractors at this spar. Okay, I've got a storage of 10,000 and it takes 5.5 hours. I'll go and check my power usage. It's 3,600 for this spar. So I'm going to repeat that process for the other 5 spars. Then once I've completed the other 5 spars, I'll go and check my power usage one more time. And it's just over 10,000. I can add a lot more mineral extractors. Each mineral extractor extracts 250, so there's a lot of counting to get it up to the level I want it to be. So I like to do it in batches of 4 or 8 and then double check each one as I go along. Until I got to the point where each spar was producing 16,000 and was taking 7.5 hours to extract it all. Of course the power usage for the mine was 18,000 K. And at this point I could start adding supply depots to the end of each of the spars. and I kept going until I had 50,000 per spar, and as I only want to visit this base once a day, making sure it's just under 24 hours, it's perfect. And as I'm extracting gold, I think I'll turn them gold. Okay, let's build a base around my new mine. I'm going to manually select the bottom arch and place it as so, and manually select the top arch and place that like so. And I'm going to do that for the gaps around the storage containers. Then I'm going to manually select the bottom wall and the top wall to fill in the gaps there. Or if you didn't know, to manually select, you can open up the sub menu and then you can select the specific wall that you want. Now I'm going to select the timber glass wall, turn off snap, and carefully line it up with the edge, and carefully free place it. And the reason you approach it from the top and not underneath is the snap at the top of the wooden wall gets interfered with the arch wall. And don't snap the top ones on until the end because it will interfere with the snap for the roof. Then finally you do the same for a door. Before putting the top windows in, do the roof. Once the roof's done, put an edging round it. Now you can snap the top windows in place. If you want, you can put arches underneath. At this point, I put my base teleporter. And of course a wire hider. Alright, a place to land my ship. Let's place some triangles like so. Place some floor panels in that angle. Then attach some triangles like so. Then place some floor panels on the outside. Remove the triangles. Place some floor panels on the inside. Once that's done, you can remove those two floor panels. Place a short wall like so, small floor panel followed by a large floor panel. Now you can remove the small floor panel and the short wall. To raise it up a little bit, you can use a wooden floor panel, but make sure the snap is off when you do that. So when you place a landing pad, it's raised up just that little bit, but I prefer the much more flush feel, so I'm going to get rid of that wooden floor panel, then carefully line up my landing pad so it's flush like that. Now I'm free to fill in the gap. Now select a small stone wall, snap it to the edge, select the stone arch, the top one. You can snap it flush like I'm doing now, or you can raise it up like I preferred. And when that's in place, for most of them, you can easily snap them in place. But for these two angled ones, you're going to have to place 3 small stone walls on top of each other. Delete the 2 underneath, and then you can attach the stone arch. That's the basics of this base done. You're free to reproduce it, or if you wish, make a variation of it. Or of course you could just come visit here and nab whatever you can get. But remember, the glitch that I showed you in this video is the easiest to do, and once you get used to it, you'll have no problems with it. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, and the bell thingy. And of course, thank you for watching. See you all later.